Oh, welcome, great people of Biafra. We are going to discuss certain important things today. It says no extradition process against Simon Ekpa. The Nigerian government who claim that they have applied and all documents have been signed and ready, and that Simon Ekpa will be extradited back to Nigeria by July 15th. The AGF have now come out yesterday, being the 9th of May 2025, to say that that is not what he said, and they never said something like that, and they just denied everything. This goes to tell you how much lies they continue to peddle on the social media space. And when they see that it is backfiring, they will now go back on their words and begin to claim that they didn't say it in the initial stage. We are going to discuss extensively on this, and then at the end, I am going to tell you very important things about what happened. But let us read about what the AGF said. What the AGF said, and when we are through with reading this, we are going to explain certain things to you. Very important things. Stay till the end and share widely. Now, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, have denied reports that the federal government has commenced extradition proceedings against Simon Ekpa, a factional leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. You know, this prescription that they always talk about, proscribe, they are doing this by their own power in Nigeria. They didn't follow the due process. They just went to court without the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, without the lawyers of IPOB, without the lawyers of. They just went and got an ex parte judgment, and they came and said it is prescribed, just like that. But the Fulani headsmen, the Miyetti Allah that continues to sack people from their ancestral homes, continue to use guns and heavy military equipment to sack people from their homes and buy many people. They don't want to designate them as terrorists, but they will come to the people who are fighting for freedom, who are requesting that a referendum be conducted and let the people of that region decide where they want to belong to. They call these people terrorists. People who are following the due process of the law. They say they are. You see how evil these people can be. Let us continue. In a statement issued by the Special Assistant on Communication and Publicity, Kamaluddin Ogundele, on Friday, the AGF said the reports misrepresented comments he made at a stakeholders engagement held on Thursday in Abuja. The statement read, the attention of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, has been drawn to media reports where he was erroneously reported to have said that the federal government has commenced an extradition process against Simon Ekpa. The report is untrue and a complete departure from what the AGF said at the Stakeholders and Citizen Engagement Forum held on Thursday in Abuja. Ekpa, a leader of the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra, is currently standing trial in Finland for charges filed against him by the Finnish government. Look at what they are saying. They say the charges filed against Simon Ekpa was by the Finnish government. But recall, when Simon Ekpa was arrested, what happened? They all came up and said that they have submitted documents to back up their claims. They came out to say they have submitted all necessary documents for his arrest and that the procedure is going on, that he will be extradited back to Nigeria. They made it publicly. They pronounced it, and it is on BBC, on various news outlets, that Nigerian government submitted all the necessary documents. Even this woman came out, Bianca Ojukwu came out to say it. She is now the, I think, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. She said it, that all necessary documents have been submitted and they will follow through all the process to ensure that he is being, extradited back to Nigeria. That has been their claim right from the onset. But now he is gradually declining and refusing to accept the fact that they are you know among what transpired. He now wants to remove himself. According to statement, Fabemi had only explained that the Nigerian government was in talks with Finnish authorities to ensure that Ekpa, who is currently facing trial in Finland, is held accountable for his actions. To set the record straight, what the AGF said during the question and answer session was that Nigerian government had been engaging with Finnish authorities to ensure that Simon Ekpa is held accountable for his actions. My people, here he now went further to say he explained that since the crimes committed by Simon Ekpa were cross-border in nature, the Nigerian government eagerly awaits the outcome of the proposed trial in Finland to have an informed decision on the next step to take. Now, I want to ask, this is a son, a lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria, somebody who is still in active process in court, a case that is still in court, but a son is telling you that he explained that since the crimes committed by Simon Ekpa were cross-border in nature, that means that is to say that he has concluded all the necessary, research, and that he has come to a conclusive decision that Simon Ekpa committed the crime. But this is a case that is still in court and is still being debated in court. It has not even gone to court. The police are doing their own research and they have found no trace of any terrorism or trace or linkage with any terrorist group. That Simon Ekpa has no linkage with any terrorist group. But this man is saying he committed crime. He is boldly. This is a senior advocate of Nigeria. That is to tell you the kind of lies, the kind of deceit, the kind of atrocities being committed by these people who claim to be leaders of the Nigerian state. They are full of shit. They continue to lie. They continue to misrepresent facts. And then you want to ask and you want to wonder what is actually the fate of the law system in the country. Are people really getting justice or they are being denied justice? With this, you will begin to ask yourself certain questions. You begin to ask yourself certain questions. What exactly is happening? What exactly is happening? Recall that the case from news in Finland that the police have finished their investigations, and then the case of Simon Ekpa will now move to court, and then it will now be debated in court. But the police said they are not willing to disclose their findings to the media. But they disclosed earlier that they have searched and Simon Ekpa has no link at all with any terrorist organization. So the aspect of terrorism is out of the way. And now people who cannot think, who will always want to misrepresent the fact, people who always want to, push narrative against certain people in the media, that is the people who continue to represent Nigeria. People with questionable character. People with questionable character. Now, the police have said they have finished their investigations and then it's now remaining for the case to be taken to court and then proceedings to kickstart. And this is where the case of Simon Ekpa is. And this is what Simon Ekpa wants initially. Because he wants a situation whereby it will be an international discourse. It will be discussed nationwide, worldwide, and the Biafra topic will now begin to reverberate within the governments of the world. And they will begin to ask questions and they will begin to question what is really happening. This is what Simon Ekpa wants. No court can convict him of any crime because all he is doing is the defense and the protection of his people. It is called self-defense. It is not a crime internationally anywhere in the world. Self-defense is never a crime, and that is exactly what Simon Ekpa is doing. Secondly, requesting to be free, desiring to be free, desiring to have a nation of your own is never a crime anywhere in the world. Desiring freedom is never a crime anywhere in the world. So for Simon Ekpa to request freedom of his own people is not a crime and can never be a crime. For Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to request freedom is not a crime and never a crime. So the question here is, what I say here is just that they have possibly gotten information on, the conclusive decision of the police, and they have discovered that from the evidence gotten and from, the whole investigation done by the Finnish police, that there's nothing that can make Simon Ekpa to be extradited back to Nigeria, that there is nothing, that he is in line with the provisions of the law of Finland, and he is in line with international best practice. And so they have seen that there's nothing that can be done to Simon Ekpa, and that is why they are now backing out. They are now using style to back out from the case. They are now using style to tell you that they never pushed for Simon Ekpa's arrest and extradition, that it was Finland that arrested him. Is a lie. It is actually, reports, cases, people filing cases upon cases, and for Finland to remain quiet is not healthy. And so they have to, try this case and, trash it out once and for all. So that is exactly what is happening. So you discover that since the Finland police stated that they are through with the investigations, and then this will now move to the court, they have gone through their back door to discover that all the investigations done, Simon Ekpa is safe and okay and has committed no crime. And so they are now looking for ways to back down. That is what you are saying. That is what the AGF is trying to do now. But God will surely expose them internationally. That is what Simon Ekpa is looking for. An international exposition of the Nigerian state and their crimes against the Biafran people. It shall be well with us. Continue to stand by the truth. Continue to, remain resolute. Share this widely to every Biafran and every group you belong. Let them hear the truth, and let the truth be our savior at all times. It is Biafra First. Thank you for listening.